But yeah, we have to really watch it because it's a tool for our business. But I think if you think in terms of it's an office, you go there, you use the tool, and you walk away.
Right. It's interesting. I didn't know that Hello Sunshine had a branding arm. And I think a lot of people, when they think about their public persona or their social media presence, we really start to think of that as a brand unto itself. My favorite definition of a brand, this crowd has heard me say this more times than they can count, is it's what someone else says about you when you're not in the room. It's not a logo, it's not an advertising campaign, it's your reputation. How do you think about your brand?
Oh, that's so good. I was going to say, I want to add on to that and say, this is what I say to people too. If your social media is Vogue of your life and you're Anna Wintour, and you get to decide what you want to share articles about, you get to decide is it personal or not personal. You get to decide is it colorful, not colorful. You get to decide is it about bits of advice that you like to share? Do you only like to share other people's content? So it's important that you take time to really figure it out, because I would say it's 30% of our revenue.
Wow.
Yeah, is a big part of that.
I mean, I think about that. I know on tomorrow's social media panel, you'll hear from colleagues that are having remarkable success, and Instagram is 90% of their revenue. But as a benchmark, I think 30% is what we should all aim for as the baseline in terms of that opportunity.
Yeah. And if you think about it, it's connectivity, and particularly in a visual business, think about the visuals of things. Aesthetics are very important.
Absolutely. So how do you navigate this pressure of maintaining a public persona? But you just described Instagram as predominantly a marketing vehicle, and it's not something where you share your personal life. How do you balance all of that pressure?
I guess I've been doing it for a really long time, so it doesn't feel stressful for me, but that's, again, skill stacking over years of learning what was public and what was private. But I have a very personal private life that very few people know about, and I'm very fierce about guarding that, But that said, I enjoy really simple things. I'm not really the person to be hanging out on a yacht. I'd rather be hanging out with my dogs in the backyard. And, I get so excited about when pumpkins come out to the stupid flower mart, y'all. I'm like my whole weekend was about pumpkins. And it's like, is it too soon? Yes. Do I want to? Yes. But will they rot? Yes.
How many did you buy?
I only bought 6. But did I want to buy 12 of different shapes and sizes? Yes. So that's what I spend my weekends thinking about, how to decorate my porch.
So it's interesting. I asked several of my colleagues in the room if they had any questions that they wanted to ask you. And so this is going to be a long lead-in. But first question, do you remember the very first time that you were ever on the Ellen DeGeneres show nearly 20 years ago?
No, I do not. Is there something I should know?
Let me remind you what happened on the Ellen show. And I have to say the haircuts were wild.
My haircut was probably awful.
So you showed up to Ellen's show with cookies.
Oh.
And you announced that you were from the South, and you never show up to a party empty-handed if you're from the South. And so you brought cookies from your favorite bakery.
Oh, that's true.
We have asked every person we know that knows you what your favorite cookies are. And we couldn't find an answer of a single bakery in Nashville, so I'm not going to get you in trouble with anyone.
Okay.
But we did find out that you said one of your earliest memories was with your grandmother making gingerbread cookies with Red Hots.
I know.
So I didn't want to show up empty-handed, so
oh my God, you're so sweet. You guys have to see this. This is what my grandmother made with the Red Hot. Did y'all's grandmother make them with the Red Hot? I can't. This is so exciting. We would have tea parties after school. Thank you.
I hope you liked it. And so that long lead into the question.
Now I'm just gonna hold the gingerbread cookie. Okay, thanks. I'll take them out. I promise.
So when you think back to that moment, nearly 20 years ago, that you can't remember, are there any things about your personal values that have changed in that time?
Oh my gosh, no. I'm pretty much the same person I was when I was, 15 years old. I'm just a little more tired. I'm just a little more tired. But no, it's a lot about values and how was my grandmother. I was raised by my grandmother because my parents were working all the time, kind of like your mom. My mom worked on the weekends and she worked during the week as a nurse. So, and my dad was a doctor, so he was always gone running and doing and running and taking care of patients. So I was with my grandfather and my grandmother a lot. So a lot of my values come from this older Southern couple. My grandfather was military, my dad was military, my mom was military. And so I'm kind of this mix between Southern values and military structure. So, particularly when I work, I wake up very early in the morning. And I thought everybody's family woke up at 4:30 or 5 in the morning. I thought that was normal. That's not normal, is it? No. That's what time we woke up in the morning and got ready for our day. Because Dad had to go take care of patients. Mom had to be at the hospital. So we would go to our grandparents and they would teach us how to garden and how to cook. And, it was just great. I grew up with a great family structure, so I'm very lucky.
Incredible. So let's talk a little bit about home. So we're with a room full of real estate agents today. What does home mean to you?
Home is so personal, okay? So in this crazy world, I think it's so important that we have a place of sanctuary, a place that's our nest, a place that we expresses our values. It's close to the people we like. We feel safe. Safety is a huge piece in this world. So I'm always looking to build a home and create a home that has traditional, the ability, like a porch is really important to me.